Okay, so generally, I would say that you understood the requirements of the project. You do have over 40 images, and so that's good because that was one of the main things. And then you also have used some composition elements throughout your photographs. Um, I would say that there were some images that I think the composition was more prominent that I noticed. I think the best ones were probably the guitar images. Um, like in the first image, I think in this one, it's a fair amount of symmetry going on there, so that's definitely one element. And then um, overall, with all of the guitar images, you definitely like the lighting was very nice. You can also see some like shadow behind it, so that adds like depth. Um, Also, in the ones that you can see the background, you can see that it's a dark or just like a plain white background, so that really doesn't distract from like your main focus of being the guitar. Um, I really like also just like the different perspectives of the guitars. They're definitely um, there. It just gives you a bunch of different ideas. I From all of your images, I can tell that you use a lot of asymmetry when taking your images. I am just a little confused about this image and what you were trying to portray with that. It looks like it's in a similar location as this um, sculpture, but I'm not really sure about this one. Um, so, I would also say that in some of the elements, I can tell that you tried to play a little bit with like foreground and like depth in the images of the Jenga pieces. Um, I do wish I think you played a little bit more with that. Like, I think it kind of would have been a little funny if like you angled it more where these Jenga pieces look just giant and the people look just like kind of tiny. I think that would have been like a cool perspective and something that would have added to these images. Overall, I kind of do wish that you played with color a little bit more. I think it's very clean in the guitars, and I understand why that wouldn't be um, sorry, why that wouldn't be um, a huge point. And then the sculpture pieces, I could see how you were going with like a unity perspective in these because they kind of all have like similar color scheme and um, but I in the background of these there is like some color, um, but I think it would have been fun just if there was more drama with that, like maybe if there was something going on with that person in the bright orange shirt or something like that. um, I also really do so. Um, just overall, I like the guitar images. I think it's like a cool contrast with the plain white background. So those really stand out for me just because like the clean lighting and stuff like that. I would say the ones that were probably the weakest for me or like needing improvements were the sculpture ones. I didn't really. I think there could have been a little more. It looks like it's hanging, so it might be hard to get from a different perspective or um, play with the light in the classroom in a way. Um, Looks like there just wasn't a lot of movement through a lot of your pictures when doing that. I think also maybe like a cool contrast of another color would have been good. Just something with those. I also just think one thing that you could have improved with the images overall, I think you could have played a little bit more with light in the Jenga pieces too. Maybe like brighter on one side, just to kind of like change the shape a little bit, like we saw in that egg video. I think that would have been cool. Also, maybe like some movement, like an action shot with the Jenga pieces, because that really is a big part of the game is them falling down. So I think that would have been cool as well. Overall, I think the composition elements were pretty easy to see, and I think it looks good. But those are just some of the comments I had about your pictures. So, all right, bye.